Hello there, peruser of videos, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Did you know that when you look at painted models, the blacks are not actually black, and the white is probably not even white either? It's trickery, it's tomfoolery, an optical illusion, tricks of the mind, tricks of the eye, a schooner. I'm Dr. Morganis, and I have a PhD in constipation. So the first thing I wanted to try to explain is that black should always be your lowest point and white should always be your highest point. Never start with a white. So I've painted this little ghost here white, just pure white. Now all I can really do if I'm trying to put some detail in there is put some shadows in. If I were to put some grey in as a shade, that's all I can really do. But I would then have to colour in all the shadows. And I don't care that ghosts are ethereal or whatever and probably don't refract light. This is all hypothetical. Just stop being pedantic. So let's say, and I'm doing this roughly by the way, let's say we're putting some shadows in. Now any other model, those shadows would be a little bit different colour. So now we have to probably darken up these bits which are more in the shade than these bits. So we have to do another gradient of grey. Maybe even just to lighten those parts up, put a few more little bits of detail in there. But that is all a waste of time. Because if we'd started with a black, which I'm going to put on now, so now we have a black ghost, but the ultimate end goal is cold white with some shadows. So rather than painstakingly paint shadows into all of those, I mean you could do washes and you could shade them off, but it's just much easier to start from a black and then brush your way up. So for this I'm going to use a small dry brush, and the next colour I'm going to use is cold grey. And all I'm going to do is just give it a light brush over the whole thing, and you can really start to see the details popping out. A little bit too heavy over there, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be white anyway. Okay, so there's my little grey ghost. Next, so I'm going to use a flat white, which is not quite as white as cold white. I don't think the cold white really made much of a difference, and that one was actually enough. But you don't need to go into loads of detail. All you need is a couple of different shades of colour. So you should be working your way up to white rather than starting with it. Now blacks are different, and you can use white as a highlight for black and it doesn't look ridiculous. The blacks that you see when other people are painting are not actually black, and it's kind of like a not black. It's best to start off with black as your shadow colour and then paint in a not black for the rest of it. One day it might sound like I know what I'm talking about. You don't need to do anything special, just mix in some white with some black and go through some different shades of grey. Don't go through all 50 though. So now I'm just going to paint some slightly lighter blacks over where I think the higher points would be. And now, I don't know how well you can see on camera, he's got some slightly different shades on him. And I'm going to bring that black up a little bit more, just with an extra bit of white. Lastly, I'm going to use quite a light grey just to pick some highlights out. And there we have a little Grim Reaper thing. Started from black, 3 shades of grey, and I reckon it looks pretty good. It's such a simple paint job, and that's how important lighting is. It's important to remember that if you are painting black, you want to use black as your shadows rather than your actual base colour. Same for white, work your way up to it. Now I'm going to paint the rest of this mini, so feel free to watch to the end of the video. I'll speed it up a little bit.